Okay, welcome back. And we started the program off with Mr. Nyekachi Adekoya. He's a security specialist. And I had announced at that time that Alhaji Mohammed Tukur, who is well known as a former Deputy Secretary General, Airline Operators of Nigeria. And this time he's joined us. Alhaji, thank you very much for your time this morning. The subject matter is bad governance, poverty, and their link to banditry in northern Nigeria. Let me just ask your impression. Do you see a link between bad governance and poverty? Do you see that link between bad governance and poverty as well as banditry in northern Nigeria? Your impression, Alhaji?
Are you with me?
Yes, we are with you, and I just heard you ask that question. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you repeat that question, please?
Okay, I wanted to know what you think of the link between bad governance, poverty, and banditry in northern Nigeria. Is there a link?
Yes, it's very unfortunate that we find ourselves in this kind of situation where, the previous government in this country, they have not been able to do what they're supposed to do. Although you can't blame them because every government comes with their own kind of arrangement, but unfortunately they have not been able to address the issue of job creation, education, and so. It's not only the government. It has to do with the people themselves, especially let's say, other people who are having a kind of money and so on and so, they are not helping matter. When you are in the society, especially in the northern part of the country, people don't come to create a kind of training and so on and so. Scholarship, providing job opportunity for people. It's not only government. If you look at the society, especially in this country, most of the people are just wanting to go to school, finish, and come and work in the government. We have a lot of land, we have a lot of things there to do. But we don't come together to say, oh, let's join hands and provide what is necessary so that at least we can be able to educate our people and provide a job opportunity. Everybody depends on government. And now you have some government officials who are already in the government, all what they are interested in their own pocket. They are not helping matter. Only few of them that are doing what they're supposed to do. So that's one of the major problems. The issue of having so many children, you see a man doesn't have anything, having a number of children. Without training them, without anything, you see them inside the city, begging, and so on and so on. So by the time they grow in that kind of society, definitely you find it very difficult. You have, they will become criminal in one or the other. So not that there is no good one, there is. But believe me, we are already overwhelmed, especially when it has come to the northern part of the country. I'm not saying every region has its own challenges. You look at the, let me put it, banditry. If you look at our people who are Fulanis, if you see somebody from 40 years down to 30 now, as I'm talking to you, you see somebody in the bush, definitely you have to put it in your mind that it's a criminal. Before you even try to save yourself. So now look at the situation we are. It's not only the Fulanis, you have other people, but believe me, 95% is our people.
Indeed.
Who are getting involved into this kind of problem.
You know, and people can't but remember that the situation we have going on in the north now is very, very much like what Sanusi Lamido, you know, the emir of Kano, what he predicted, that, look, there's a failure of governance going on, and this involves all sorts of things, including a lack of care for education and all those kind of things, and that it is going to lead to anything but, you know, a good society, anything but good governance. It's like we had always been warned by the likes of Sanusi Lamido Sanusi.
I can't hear you very well. I don't know if you can speak a little bit louder so that I can hear the question.
Yes, indeed, I can try. The emir of Kano, going back a few, you know, just a few years, has always warned that the situation we find ourselves in northern Nigeria was going to come to pass. And now, it looks like there's almost no opportunity for governance. The emir had said that there was a lack of good governance going on, neglect of education. But for his troubles, we all know what happened. Now, here we are. And we're limiting this. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, it's just like what the emir said, really. You see, the issue is at that time when there is somebody give, you know, understand the situation and he explained, nobody, it's just like what I say, nobody care to look at that particular advice, believe me. And we found ourselves in this situation, as I told you. Now, the only thing is, how do we solve this problem? It's not a one-day issue. I mean, 1 year. That's why sometimes you sit down, you look at what this administration is trying to put in place. And when you have some people in the northern part of the country or in the country, generally nobody want to help. Nobody want to help. For example, now look at the leaders. Somebody is sitting down trying to blame a government which is just 1 year and a half. Do you understand? Not even giving the government a time, you know, to do what they wanted to do. The government has a very good program, especially this particular government. I hope you are hearing me.
We can hear you.
Okay. So now, instead of them to come together, what we know from 1979 down, you know, most of the politicians, one political party, they normally come together to assist the government. At the back door, they can do their campaign and accuse whoever they want to accuse, but the truth of the matter, they lock the door. It will affect everybody. You can't govern a country when the country is already in a very difficult situation. But now, what they normally do, they just add fuel into the fire.
Yeah.
Do you understand? They are not ready to assist. They are not ready to give a very good advice for the government to do the right thing. Now they will go behind. What they are interested in is simple. If there is a bloodshed, then they will use that particular bloodshed for the next coming election. Yeah. That's exactly what is going on.
Okay. 1 second. Yes, indeed I do. 1 second, Elijah. Let me include Otumba Adebo, who has been waiting for a bit. He called in from Abeokuta. Good morning, Otumba.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good morning to the guys. What I want to say is until the government, until the National Assembly, until the government makes sure that free education is compulsory. Free education is compulsory from primary to, particularly from primary to secondary, or even university education in Nigeria. It will be like that, particularly for the southern areas. It has always been like that. You see 5 years, 4 years old boys go roaming about in the south. You see 9-year-old girl as wives. As wives. Those are supposed to be in school. Those are not happy.
Yeah. Okay, I think the networks and lines are quite a bit challenging today. Thank you very much, Otumba. I think the crux of what you said was that education is a problem, and until it is made, as you're suggesting, is that it has to be made compulsory from at least primary to secondary school for us to know where we're going. So, yep, I think we all understand that, because we have a big problem on our hands here. And let me come back to studio with Onyekachi. This is a big problem, isn't it? Because take Sokoto, for instance. Yesterday, when we were discussing an aspect of this problem, our guest was saying that ordinarily logic forbids you from thinking of Sokoto, arguably the capital of Islam in Nigeria, to be a hotbed for all these kind of activities, terrorism, and all anti-progressive ideas. But that's what we do have. So how much of this is religious? How much of this is cultural? And how much of this is political?
I think you're asking a question in what I call geopology or geopolitics. It's a very broad question. If you say that the Northwest has never been awash in violence, you may be overlooking the history of how the Usman Dan Fodio Caliphate,
how the religion actually arrived.
Not necessarily, because there's always been Islam in Nigeria, and arguably Islam may have first touched base in the Northeast. Which is why if you follow the war between the Al-Qanemis and, the jihadis, and at the point they had to stop, because the people in the Northeast say, we've had interaction with Saudi and Islam for a long time, and what you are advancing is a different form of Islam. Like I said, for over 30 years, we've had issues of armed banditry and the rest. The problem is, you see, in the North, people would easily subscribe to the will of God. 10 people may die, and, they say in religion, it is the will of God. In the South, one person breaks a leg, and all hell gets less loose. So there's some cultural thing going on in the North that allows the people to perceive or exercise more restraint, believing the best of their political class. And the political class understands the minds of the people and does manipulate the minds of the people to their own benefit. Yeah. Remember when Obasanjo was president, the issue of Sharia came up. You ask, are these problems religious? Far from it. What's the ideology of ISIS? What's the background of Hamas? You heard President Trump claim that then President Barack Obama was the founder of ISIS. But, I mean, to his point, perhaps ISIS is the product of some influence operation. At the heart of the problems you see in the Northwest and the Northeast are economics. You see, whether they be Jazz or they be ISWAP or Boko Haram. What was Boko Haram? Boko Haram was formerly Ecomoc boys. Boys used in the political circle then in 1999 to the next election cycle. If you recall, 1999, 2003 were about the most bloodiest. In fact, the bloodiest election in Nigeria cycle was 2011. So our democracy is maturing. So these boys who they use, you have them in Adamawa now, they call them Sheila boys. They are still there till tomorrow. So at the heart of this is not religion. It's not the header farmer crisis we think it is. You know, there are some other sinister, asymmetric operation going on, and watch where these things are happening. They are happening within our food belts. The header farmer clashes are happening within our food region. The Northeast had the largest cattle population anywhere in Africa. You can't herd cattle there. Northwest, cattle rustling, farmer header, systemically, Nigeria that used to have the granite pyramids and the food pyramids has now become a beggarly nation not able to achieve food security. So there's a bigger war that we're facing, which seems like an asymmetric warfare on us.
So, what are the governors in the North doing is the question.
A kakistocracy is what I've said. We are not led by the best of us.
And you can't give what you don't have.
People cannot give what they don't have. So people who do not understand the issues.
Yes.
And let me land on this. We do consult for a number of governors. Okay. And they say that the governors...
because I want you to say that in full.
Okay, that's fine.
Aminu in Yola has been holding on for a while. Thank you very much, Mr. Aminu, for holding on. Go ahead now, sir.
Mr. Yori, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, Mr. Oyeribuchi have said it all. Yeah, because the entire North, what is happening is exactly economics. Our governors, our leaders must understand. It's not about building bridges. It's not about doing what they are doing. It's about building an economy. If there is no economy, there is no survival in the North. The economy of the North are cattle herding and farming. That's the only business in the North. Anybody that is telling you any other semantics is only telling you what he wants. But what are they doing about it? What have they done about it for the past 45 years? What have they done about it? There is no single cattle colony or whatever name they call it in the whole of North as a pilot project. No. How can you tell me the entire economy is relying 58% on animals and you are telling me you don't have anything to show about it in the whole of 19 northern states? We don't have leaders. It's unfortunate. Our leaders are building bridges. Who cares about a bridge when the people don't eat? When people don't eat, they can be Boko Haram, they can be ISIS, they can be anything. Whatever name you can call them, they need to eat first. Any nation that is not self-sufficient in food, that nation cannot survive.
Indeed.
We must eat first.
Yeah.
The government at the state, at the national, at the local government must come in terms of the realities of people must eat. That's the bottom line. Thank you very much, Mr. Yori.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aminu, and for your patience as well. So let me just sample Alaji Tuko. Alaji Tuko, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, so hopefully you heard those last contributions, both from Mr. Adekoya and from Mr. Aminu in calling out of Yola. Are we stuck? To paraphrase Aminu, in the North we don't have leaders. And in studio here, my guest has opined that you can't give what you don't have is a big issue worthy of consideration. Do we have leaders properly defined in the North?
If I hear you very well, you said if I heard about one Aminu?
Yeah, I was saying, how do you relate to the assertion that our governors have not lived up to their positions in the North of being leaders?
If I hear you very well, I mean, you are talking about how can we solve the problem, or how do we, if I understand
leadership from the North, leadership from among the governors and the local councils and the traditional rulers in the North. Is there?
Thank you very much. You see, it's a very simple. Some of the district head from the emir, let's say from the Emirate Council in the various state, especially let me talk about Katsina, Zaria, and the rest. Do you understand?
Okay.
There is a lot of thing going on. Take the governor of Katsina, who is so, did a lot of things lead to the other local government. If you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Are you listening? Hello?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. So the community, especially from the state government down to all the community. So what we are doing, what we understand that what is happening, especially we who have come from some other area, that we have put ourselves together to make sure that everything, all the town and the city, they have what they call vigilantes, and we are calling all the people there to come together and defend themselves and create a kind of committee that they can be able to support themselves. Just like what we are seeing, what is happening in the East. Do you understand?
All right.
People can be able to contribute in one or the other. The community can take 1, 2, 3, 4 people. They can gather some kind of money to make sure that they have sent people for training and so on. So the government is doing all what they can do, which we understand. But the problem is the community.
Okay, let me bring on Ada. Okay, thank you very much, Alaji. Ada in Jos, good morning.
Yoni and your guest, especially the one in the studio, that's Onyekachi. As Ada calling from Jos Plateau State. I feel that the problem with Nigerian security, for me, it's not simply a question of saying the north or the south. It should be handled holistically. The problem we're having is hunger is a very serious problem. Certainly insecurity is not just done with the barrel of the gun, Let them, tackle it from a socio-economic viewpoint. So, yes, people say that they're very submissive to their rulers, but it's a time bomb waiting to explode. Any day their eyes open, it will be terrible. So we want to get to that stage. Let them address those issues, the unemployment, illiteracy, all those things, address them. And then why can't they re-strategize? Let them do a coordinated kind of simultaneously. That is in all the states, especially the adjoining states. The operation they are doing, this forestry sanitation or whatever they are calling, sanitization or whatever, it's piecemeal. So when they do it in Zafara, they will now have a escape route to go to the adjoining state. Even if it means Nigeria being still for 1 week, let us get serious. Then also involve the hunters. Allow them bear the arms they're supposed to bear. Most of the kidnap...
okay, Ada, we've run out of time.
So the hunters have done a lot.
Thank you very much, Ada, for calling in. We've completely run out of time. And because of this, I'd like to thank Alhaji Mohammed Tukur. So sorry for the challenges that we had, but we appreciate your coming on the program as well. And in studio here, Mr. Onyekachi Adekoya, are we stuck in this particular warp? What is the hope? Everybody, the big question that we didn't get answered is the quality of leadership, of governorship in the North. What is that? What is that all about?
So I think we're singling out only the North, maybe for the reasons that's occurred. But to answer your question, are we stuck? Yes, we are stuck. What's the rule of madness? If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, and you're expecting a different result, then that's why I say sometimes we are very interesting people in Nigeria. So what I say is, to round up, the president must lead as a political leader to bring all the governors to a vision that he sees for Nigeria and to help provide what is missing in terms of visioning, and use his political capital to urge the governors in the direction they should be going.
Well, thank you very much for keeping it that brief. Mr. Onyekachi Adekoya, appreciate your appearance on the program. That's our program today. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folare. Bye-bye for now.